Good afternoon. This is Mamurjan Rahimov. We will be talking about target markets, segmentation, and evaluation in this lecture. Hello from Webster University in Tashkent. This video recording has become possible thanks to generous support from UNESCO Unitwin OpenCourseWare Open Education Resource Initiative. Let's first look through our learning objectives. So we have 8 learning objectives today. It's a very difficult topic actually. First, we have to explain what markets are and how they are generally classified. Identify the 5 steps of target market selection process. Describe the differences among 3 targeting strategies. Identify the major segmentation variables. Continue here. Explain what market segment profiles are and how they are used. Explain how to evaluate market segments. Identify factors that influence the selection of specific market segments for use as target markets, and discuss sales forecasting methods. So what are markets? In old times, the origin of the word market is a specific place in the city, outskirts, or in the center where people gather for exchanging goods. But nowadays, when we say a market, it could be a virtual group as well. A market is a group of people, individuals, or organizations who have needs for products in a product class and have the ability, willingness, and authority to purchase such products. A group of people that lacks any of the 4 requirements does not constitute a market. So teenagers have the desire, the money, and the willingness to buy alcohol, but the law prevents them from having the authority to purchase alcohol, so they're not part of alcohol market, technically speaking. Okay, so generally we can divide the markets into 2: consumer markets and business markets. Right? Consumer markets, as the term suggests, they purchase the products and services for final consumption, not for resale. In the business markets, businesses purchase the same items for resale, or they become parts of other products and services. For example, when you produce something, you can sell to wholesalers and retailers. You can sell it to other companies which may use your product to make yet other goods and services. Consumer markets are also referred to as business to consumer markets, B2C. Each of us belongs to numerous consumer markets. Business markets, they're referred as B2B, meaning business to business, right? Industrial or organizational markets. So there are several names for business markets. Business markets can be further classified into producer markets, reseller markets, government markets, B2G, institutional markets. Let's look through target selection process. There are 5 steps outlined here. We're going to look at each one separately. Step 1. Identify appropriate targeting strategy. So who is target market? Target market is a group of people or organizations in B2B for which a business creates and maintains a marketing mix, those 4 P's, specifically designed to satisfy their needs. The strategy used to select the target market is affected by target market characteristics, product attributes, and the organization's objectives and resources. So there are some organizations which say, we're not going to sell to consumers. We're going to just deal with producers. There are some organizations, they say, no, we're not going to do B2B. We're going to exclusively focus on consumer markets, and they're B2C. In these diagrams, you can see different targeting strategies. This is targeting strategy continued. So undifferentiated targeting strategy means company designs a single marketing mix and directs it all and directed it to all the people. So for example, utility companies or standard mail is a famous example that it's undifferentiated marketing targeting strategy. So they try to sell the product to everyone. Postal service or utilities, they're trying to sell utilities to everyone. Market segmentation is the process of dividing a total market into groups of customers with similar product needs and designing a marketing mix to meet those needs. Also, they must be homogeneous inside. For example, females generally have their favorite colors, or they are attracted to particular designs. So that's a segment. Nowadays, marketers are already talking about, in developed countries, marketers are already talking about segment of one. Each person, each one of us could be a segment, not 100,000 people under 30 living in Tashkent, but it could be a boss, right? He lives in Tashkent. They know everything about you through your online and offline purchases. So you could be targeted by specific product marketing mix. So market segments consist of customers that share one or more similar characteristics, causing them to have similar product needs. For market segmentation to succeed, 5 conditions must exist. 1. Customers' needs must be heterogeneous. So meaning that, for example, males and females. So the reason that they can be divided into male segment and female segment is that males and females needs are heterogeneous, but within the segment they're homogeneous, right? So in other words, speaking in plain language, people need to be segmented into different segments because they differ, but within the segment they're alike. All right, segment must be identifiable and divisible. So you could tell by their income level, or you could tell by their by their looks that this is a different segment. Okay. Segments must be comparable to one another with respect to estimated sales potential, cost, and profits. That's clear. One segment must show enough profit potential to justify developing a special marketing mix for them. And the last one is the firm must be able to reach the chosen segment with a particular marketing mix. So there should be some channels, it should be accessible. So for example, children are a very important segment, very important. But advertising to children is prohibited, right? And another one, even if you find ways to advertise to children, they grow very fast. They taste and likes they change very quickly. So many companies have difficulty reaching this segment. Now, concentrated targeting strategy means a company targets a single market segment using one marketing mix. For example, a company making sports cars, right? So they concentrate on that sports car lovers, and they produce a marketing mix according to that. Differentiated targeting strategy. Uh, an organization directs its marketing efforts at two or more segments, developing a marketing mix for each segment. Our GM, in Uzbekistan, mostly produces compact cars, but even in Uzbekistan, we can see that you know uh, they offer more expensive cars for well-to-do segment and basic compact subcompact cars for mass market for people with average income and low income. So let's talk about segmentation variables now. Those are characteristics of individuals, groups, or organizations used to divide a market into segments, right? Several variables are often used in combination. When selecting a segmentation variable, several factors are considered. The variable should relate to customers' needs for uses of or behavior toward the product. Variable must be measurable. Company resources and capabilities must be taken into account. Product type and variations in customer needs. So here we have some segmentation variables listed. So generally, um, these are the most popular segmentation methods. For examples, demographic variables, age, income, so anything related to human beings, right? Religion is also one. Psychographic variables, personality attributes, motives, lifestyles, and geographic variables, region, city, rural, climate, and others. And behavioral variables like volume usage, end use, benefit expectations, and so on. Let's look at some important demographic variables. So by 2025, age groups under 55 expected to decrease. Age groups 55 and older expected to increase. Especially this is true for developed countries. The magazine market is a market segmented by gender. Can you think of other examples? So marketers use race and ethnicity to target segments for products such as food, music, clothing, so on. Income is a variable affecting persons' ability to purchase and affecting their desires for certain lifestyles. Products affected include sporting goods, cosmetics, housing, and etc. Let's look at family life cycle, right? So, we are all born, we grow up, so we go through different life cycles. So marital status, number and age of children is important in segmenting the market. Recently, I met with my good friend from United States. He is in Tashkent, and he described himself as empty nester. What is empty nester? Empty nester is someone who has children, but all of the children grew up and left the house, right? Now the couple is just living together, and they call them empty nesters themselves. Factors affecting the family life cycle: single parent families are on the rise, even in developing countries. I know a lot of single parent families myself. The median marrying age is increasing. This is also true for Uzbekistan. Okay, how's it going? Now let's look at geographic variables. Markets may be divided by any of these geographic variables. You can divide by climate, by terrain, city size, population density. Market density refers to the number of potential customers within a unit of land area, for example, square kilometers. Not the same as population density. We're talking about market density. That's why Amazon was a success. United States is a big country, so they were able to increase market density virtually, right? So, for example, uh, let's say you are an author, a rising star, and you write stories, but you cannot sell. Your potential target market is spread all over the country. So physically, it's impossible to reach them, by putting your books in all over the country. But then online, you're able to, target all of them regardless of their location. So that way, even the young, new authors were able to sell their books on Amazon, and that's why the guy, it's one of the secrets of Amazon's success. So geodemographic segmentation, as we said before, several variables can be used. Oftentimes, there several variables are used for segmentation purposes. So one of such approaches is geodemographic segmentation, meaning that geographical and demographical segmentation methods, they are combined. Okay, so this method clusters people in zip code areas, even smaller neighborhood units, based on lifestyles and demographic information. You see, geographical and demographical information is combined. Micro marketing focuses precise marketing efforts on very small geographic markets. Ultimate version of micro marketing is segment of one, right? One person can become a segment thanks to improving technology and better use of artificial intelligence and databases. So let's pause it here, and when we come back, we'll talk about psychographic variables.